Everybody, we're going to take a look at the special key drawing today. We just went over the three views, and I showed you a little bit about what a multi-view drawing is, how to set them up, the difference between top, front, right side, and the importance of being able to visualize the drawings. We talked about hidden lines. So remember this lesson that we went over as you're working through the special key drawing. So make sure you have your packet out. So we're going to be looking at drawings 5 through 8 here. Special key holder, wedge, V-block with this next unit. So with the special key and really all these drawings, the first thing you want to do is make sure you determine overall height, width, and depth. Okay, so you can see here I have them circled already. Our overall height is 2 7/8. Our overall width is 5 5/8, and our overall depth is 1 5/8. So you want to circle all those and label them. So you know, with an H, a D, and a W on all these drawings. When you start with CAD, we want to make sure we're starting with the CAD borders. You can see I already have my CAD borders open, and I am set to my construction layer. I'm going to start about an inch in from this red and green kind of origin point here where they intersect, and I want to kind of mirror that L shape. So I'm going to kind of start right here, go over. 17, yeah, that's good enough. Hit escape, hit enter, and then we'll go up. 17 again, that's fine. Again, you want these lines to be longer. You don't want them to be super short, and you want two lines, one horizontal, one vertical. You can see how it kind of mirrors my origin point right here. From here, it's going to be a lot of offset. Your offset measurements will start with your height, width, and depth. We want to box this part in. We want to box in the three views using these three measurements. That's all I need right now to start this part. We'll start with the height and offset up 2 7/8. So I'm going to do O, enter for offset. My height is 2.875. Hit enter. I'm going to click this line and go up. O, enter. Let's do the width, which is 5.625, which is 5 5/8. Click this one and go over. So now I have my front view set up right here. The spacing in between each view is 1 inch. So the space in here, like the space here, all of them, it's going to be a 1 inch space. So that's the next thing I need to do is do a 1 inch offset for my spacing. I'm going to offset this over 1 inch and this up 1 inch. You'll notice that now I have, do that one more time, I have a 1 inch square. 1 by 1 square right here. So where I just offset those 1 inch lines, where they intersect in that upper right corner, that's where you want to draw in the 45-degree miter line. So I draw a line, I grab a line, again, draw it, you don't want it to be super small, 11, that's fine, and then I hit tab, and then I type in 45. Again, that is my miter line, which is going to help me to project. In this case, the right side view is missing. It's going to help me project the top view over and down to the right side. So I'm going to go over and down. And if you remember that from the lesson yesterday, the miter line will help us, in this case, go from the right side up and over to the top, right side up and over to the top here, top view over and down, same thing here, top view over and down. So it's very important to set up that 45-degree angle at the upper right corner of where those 1 inch offsets were. My final offset is going to be for my depth, which is 1 5/8. Okay, so O, enter, 1.625, enter. Offset this one to the right and this one up. So now I have my three boxes set up. I have my top view will fit inside there. My front view will fit inside here. And my right side view will fit inside there. If it helps you to kind of shade in the 1 inch space, you can also do that. That's the hatch tool. The hatch tool fills in an enclosed area. So you can click on that, or you can do H, enter. And I can click in the 1 inch spacing. And then hit enter. Now I can kind of clearly see my three views. And I have my 45-degree angle set up. Always good habit to check your work. So like I'm going to grab a line and just kind of double check. Okay, good. That's 5 5/8. This is 2 7/8. I have my 1 inch space. If I go up here, that would be 2.625 because I'm adding 1 plus 1.625. So everything's looking pretty good. And once you have it set up here, you're ready to start doing the inside. Also, don't forget, at this point, I would probably save this. So let's do a file, save as. Make sure you're saving into your Google Drive, My Drive, in your CAD 1 folder. All right, and you're going to save this one as special key. And remember, if you don't see your Google Drive, you have to load your file stream. Okay, so for the inside, I'm going to focus, we'll start with the front view. And you'll notice so far I've only drawn 3 lines, these two and the 45-degree angle. Again, it's a lot of offsetting. So if I'm starting with this front view, the space from here to here is at 1.5 inch. So from here to here is 1.5 inch. It's also 1.5 inch this way. Or I can go 2 5/8 over this way. So I want to offset 1.5 inch this way, another 1.5 inch, or 2 5/8 that way. And you'll see that as I'm doing this drawing, I'm doing multiple things at once. So I'm going to offset 1.5, and you'll see how that looks here in a second. And I can do another 1.5 just because I've done this drawing before, and I know that if by doing some math, okay, if that's 2 5/8, that's 1.5. The left over here is also 1.5. So my other option would have been offset 2.625 this way. Okay, so now I have those 2 vertical lines here, and then this will be these 2 lines here. Now I got to get this little cutout. It's 5/8 up and down. So 5/8, or I should say 5/8 down and 5/8 up to get this little cutout right here. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to offset 5/8, and I'm going to offset this one. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go this one. I'm going to go up 5/8. So if you look closely at this front view, it is finished. I'll have to go back and trace over with my visible lines, but the front view is done. And you can see I actually have some stuff done on the right side and the top view, and I haven't even started those yet. So for the top view, what I'll have to do is, I already have this and this. I need to get this cut out, which is, it looks like it goes down 1 inch. So I want to offset this back line down 1 inch. Offset 1 inch. Now, if you look closely, my top view is now finished. I just have to kind of trace over some of this with a visible line. The last part of this is the right side view with the projection point, the 45-degree angle. I already have the left edge and the right edge of the right side view. You'll notice there's a third line right here that intersects with the miter line. Where that intersects right here, I want to go straight down and draw another construction line. Okay, my right side view is now finished. If you look closely at this example here, another thing that's kind of helpful to do is the missing view in this case is the right side. So you got to pretend, okay, if I was looking at the right side, I'd be standing here looking this way. I like to kind of shade in the missing view. And if you can kind of see, I'm seeing 1 rectangle here. I'm also seeing 3 surfaces here, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 total things I'm going to be looking at. If you look at my drawing, there they are. I have the long rectangle here, and then the 3 surfaces. So all I have to do at this point is switch to my visible line and start tracing over this. I know it seems like there's a lot of construction lines, a lot of offsets here, but it will make the drawings go really fast once you get the hang of it. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go up. See, at this point, it's super easy. Just making sure you're tracing over the correct lines. And I'm going to go over this way. I have to draw a line here. So again, I'm just following my drawing, making sure that I'm tracing over the correct points. And you can always start to check it. Okay, I'm going to turn off my construction line for a minute, see where I'm at. You can kind of see where we're headed here. So I still have some more lines I need to go over. I got to determine, is it this line or this line I go over? So if I look at my plans, it's the one on the right. I also got to get this and this. So we have this. Remember, everything relates to each other. So that would mean I got to go over, actually I think the right side, the front view is done now. The right side view, I'm going to have the outside rectangle. I also have this line coming straight down. And then I got to figure out, do I go over this side or the left side? So if you look at your drawing again, it looks like I want to go, the three surfaces are on the right side. So that's where you want to divide them up into the three on the right side. So if I go back here, so I'm going to go draw over this and draw over this. Now when I turn off my construction layer, I have a finished special key drawing. The last step would be to switch to dimension lines. And now I can start to dimension this, just using the exact same dimensions that are on the drawing. So 2.875 for my height, 1 5/8 for my depth, and then I can go 1 inch here, 5 5/8 here. So you kind of get the idea. I'm just following my dimensions here. I do not need to over dimension. I do not need any dimensions on the right side. For instance, the height. I would not need to put the height on there because I already have it on the front view. I'll do one more here. Let's see, I can do a couple more. We'll do 2 5/8 here. Again, make sure you're not covering up any of your part. Like I wouldn't want to do this. Yeah, it's 5/8. But look how I did that with the grips, how that green is covering up my entire part. So I need to click here, and I got to drag this over. And I have this 1 5/8. In the next video, later on, I will show you how to do the isometric, but that completes the 3 views of the special key.